Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Yoma. We're up to Perek Gimel Mishna Zayin. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Aranbayev, and Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Menuchatam Began Eden, Amen. The Kohen Gadol wore white garments twice in Yom Kippur, once in the morning when he offered the bull, the goat, and the Ktoret, and once in the afternoon when he removed the utensils that had been used in the Ktoret service. Instead of wearing the same garments twice, he wore two different sets. The Mishnah teaches that the sets were different in value. In the morning he wore Pelusian garments worth 12 maneh. Pelusia and Ramses, the region of Egypt mentioned in the Torah. The garments of linen produced there were exceptionally fine and beautiful. Uben arbaim hindivin shel shmone meot zuz. And in the afternoon he wore Indian garments worth 800 zuz, 8 maneh. Now it is derived from the Torah that the morning garments had to be of finer linen than the afternoon garments. Divrei Bimeir, these are the words of Bimeir. V'chachamim omrim, but the sages say, B'shachar yalovesh shel shmone asar maneh. In the morning he wore garments worth 18 maneh, uben arbaim shel shneim asar maneh, and in the afternoon he wore garments worth 12 maneh, hakol shloshim maneh, thus their total value was 30 maneh. Now the sages mentioned the total in order to teach that if the morning garments cost less than 18 maneh and the afternoon garments cost less than 12 maneh, it does not matter provided that the total is at least 30 maneh. However, it is essential that the morning garments be more valuable than the afternoon ones. Elu Mishel Tzibur, the Mishnah states who paid for all of these garments. Elu Mishel Tzibur, these came from the funds that the public donated to the temple. All the garments of the Kohanim were bought with the half shekels that the Jewish people gave to the temple every year. V'im ratzah leosif, and if the Kohen Gadol wanted to add money to buy garments that were even finer than these, Mosif Mishelo, he added from his own funds and not from public funds. However, the Rav explains the Kohen Gadol first had to donate his money to the public fund, and only then could it be used in paying for the garments. Since he was the messenger of the people in performing this temple service, the garments he wore had to belong to them, as the Gemara explains. And that is in Rabotai of Mishnah Zayin. Mishnah Chet now continues. After putting on the white garments and washing his hands and feet, like we learned in Mishnah 6, the Kohen Gadol began the special services of Yom Kippur. All of these services centered on one bull, 2 he-goats, and Ketoret. The first service involved the bull. Balo etzel Paro, Pharaoh haya omed ben ha'olam ve'lamizbeach. He went toward his bull. Now it is his bull because he had to pay for it. This bull was a chatat offering that brought atonement for himself, his family, and all the other Kohanim. Like we said, he went toward his bull, which was standing between the antechamber and the altar. Now the bull stood in the northern part of the area between the ulam and the altar, because like all other chatat offerings, it belongs to the category of kodesh kodeshim, most holy offerings, which was slaughtered in the northern half of the courtyard. It was placed between the altar and the ulam, so that after slaughtering the bull, the Kohen Gadol would have to walk only a short distance when he carried the bull's blood to the sanctuary, like we'll see in chapter 5, Mishnah 3. Since he was fasting and he had to perform many tasks that day, care was taken to spare him from any unnecessary effort. Rosho ladarom, with its head to the south and its back to the north. Right, that's how he says he went toward his bull, which was standing between the ulam and the altar, with its head to the south and its back to the north. Ufanav le'ma'arav, but its face was turned toward the west. Now the bull was supposed to face the sanctuary, but its body could not be positioned with its head to the west, which is a sanctuary, and its back to the east, the altar, because it would disgrace the altar were it to defecate in that direction. It was therefore positioned with its back to the north and its head to the south, and only its face was turned toward the sanctuary. The Kohen Gadol stood in the east, with his back towards the east and with his face to the west. He leaned both his hands on the head of the bull. Then he confessed his sins and the sins of his family. Now it's a general law that anyone who brings a chatat offering must lean his hands on the animal's head and confess his sin, as the Gemara says on page 36 in Masechet Yoma. This particular confession, however, was unique to Yom Kippur. V'kachaya omer, and this is what he would say, Ana Hashem, please Hashem. Now the Kohen Gadol would utter the 4-letter name of Hashem as it's spelled and not it's normally spoken. The same applies to each of the 3 times that he had said the name in his prayers. The Gemara says on page 39b in Masechet Yoma, Kachaya omer, this is what he would say, Ana Hashem, please Hashem, Aviti, I have sinned deliberately, Pashati, I have sinned rebelliously, Chatati lefanecha, and I have sinned mistakenly before you. Now this sequence, when we say deliberately, rebelliously, mistakenly, is based on Sefer Vayikra, chapter 16, pasuk 21. However, the halacha follows the Chachamim cited in the Gemara on page 36b, who maintain that the correct order is mistakenly, deliberately, rebelliously, going from the least serious to the most serious type of sin, as the Rav explains to chapter 4, Mishnah 2, continuing, Chatati lefanecha, and I've sinned mistakenly before you. Ani uveti, I and my household, Ana Hashem, please Hashem, kaperna la'avonot ve'la'psha'im ve'la'chataim, forgive now the deliberate, rebellious, and mistaken sin, she'aviti v'shepashati v'shechatati lefanecha, ani uveti, that I have committed deliberately, rebelliously, and mistakenly before you, I and my household, meaning his wife, and according to some of his children as well. Kakatuv b'Torah, Moshe avdecha, as it is written in the Torah, Moshe your servant, in Sefer Vayikra, chapter 16, pasuk 30, Ki bayom hazeh, for on this day, yechaper alechem, he will atone for you, la'eter etchem, to purify you, mikol chatotechem, from all your sins, ifnei Hashem titaru, before Hashem shall be purified. Ve'en onin acharav, after each of the 3 times that the Kohen Gadol mentioned the special name of Hashem, the people responded, Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed, bless the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. They prostrated themselves, they bowed themselves on the ground before they stated these words, as we will see later on in chapter 6, Mishnah 2, in the notes discussed over there. That is in Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai leolam, amen v'amen.